Our journey on buy-to-let goes back to the days when, as brokers at Mortgages for Business, we worked alongside the first lenders into the buy-to-let sector, John Heron of Paragon and Tony Ward, then of Mortgage Trust. And it would surprise you to know that in the early days of buy-to-let, all the lenders paid an annual premium to the Association of Residential Letting Agents, where Andrew Reeves had copyrighted the expression buy-to-let, and he was one of our first clients. Now, eventually, as a broker, you reach the point where you have to stop telling lenders how to do the job and do it yourself. And so we decided to become a lender in our own right, pre-credit crunch in 2007 with Bradford and Bingley. As the buy-to-let market grew in the 1990s and the early noughties, as it's now referred to, many lenders who came into the sector were predominantly residential lenders who happened to do a little bit of buy-to-let on the side. We recognised very early on that some landlords would soon fall out of that segment and be too complicated for them. And whilst there were some big stalwarts in the sector, such as Paragon, we thought there would always be an opportunity for another smaller lender to sit alongside the likes of Paragon, and we weren't the only people to reach that decision, and provide a service for those landlords who soon became too big for those residential lenders. And that then became the genesis of Keystone back in 2007. In August 2018, 17 of us moved out from under the wings of Mortgages for Business and moved into a separate building here at Kings Hill Business Park in 7,500 square foot of fully fitted out offices. And my goodness, for those first few weeks, we certainly rattled around. Here we are 1 year later in August 2019 with 47 of us in this building, plus a couple of dogs, and we have 5 field managers out there talking to brokers about their landlord requirements. Clearly, in that team of 47, we have departments we didn't have before, such as risk and credit and completions. But the one thing we do prize above everything is our commitment to technology and the systems that we have built to make the journey better for brokers and their landlord customers. It's all work in progress, and we hope to keep you updated of further additions and more technology and developments in the next year going into 2020. You'll now hear that the buy-to-let sector is divided into 2 segments: vanilla or straightforward buy-to-let and specialist buy-to-let. And the specialist sector has really been defined by the actions of government since the return of the Conservatives to power, first in a coalition and then in their own right. They have decided to tax landlords more heavily, which has meant that limited companies have become popular, and indeed inadvertently they created nearly 200,000 extra properties as HMOs with legislation back in October 2016. All of this means that some lenders will choose to service this growing segment and others will decide to stick to the more straightforward transactions. We have chosen, along with a surprising number of lenders, to focus on the specialist sector and up our game both in terms of technology and understanding and product delivery for those landlords who now either buy in a limited company or discover, somewhat surprisingly to their cost, that they now have an HMO when they've done very little to the property. We think it's an area of great opportunity where we can provide product, service and understanding to brokers and their clients. But of course this market will continue to evolve, and we stand by for the next changes that will come to the specialist segment in the years ahead.